Hello everyone and welcome to week 5. Now this is a bigger week as we make a big push to the end of our course. Can't believe that we're already on week 5 of 6 for this course. Fantastic. Now there are 3 parts to this week and we are covering chapters 10, 11, and 12. Keep in mind that each chapter has its own reading in the textbook, its own PowerPoint, its own discussion, its own quiz, and its own reflection. So again, be mindful of that Thursday, Sunday due dates and times. Okay, it's really important we don't forget this since we have a lot more to cover this week than perhaps in the previous weeks. Now, in chapter 10, we're talking about culture, language, and communication. Communication is a key factor when you're working with clients. So we're going to be discussing cultural influences and differences in verbal and nonverbal communication, inter and intra-cultural communication, and bilingualism. There we go. Chapter 11 is a very interesting social and global issue about culture and health. Cultural differences in the definition of health, the 3 indicators of health worldwide. So this is like the World Health Organization, or WHO. Genetic, psychosocial, and sociocultural influences on health, as well as differences in healthcare and medical delivery. Now, chapter 12, we move on to psychological disorders, defining abnormality, cultural differences and assessment. Now, this is an important one because there's an ethical side to this. How we assess someone on psychological disorders must include their cultural background. We have to have a filter of their culture when we assess them, label them, diagnose them with a psychological disorder. That's an ethical thing. Cross-cultural research on different disorders, and an interesting point about cultural syndromes. So culturally specific psychological disorders that we don't see in other cultures. Then we finish up chapter 12 talking about mental health as it relates to ethnic minorities, migrants, and refugees, a very appropriate topic for 2019. So again, make sure you're reading the textbook, looking over the PowerPoints for each chapter, completing the discussions, plural, for 10, 11, and 12 by Thursday at 11:55. Make sure you have your 2 classmates replied to by Sunday at 11:55. Get those chapter quizzes for each chapter and those chapter reflections for each chapter done by Sunday at 11:55.